Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So I think this is working. Are there people here? I think I'm going to tweet out this link. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Share link. Is there a link? Copy. Copy the link. Okay, I'm gonna put it on my Twitter and my Facebook page. So something I realized is that whenever I film before a video, I always brush my teeth and put on perfume, which is weird because you guys cannot like smell my breath or smell my perfume. But always before I sorry, I'm trying to tweet and talk. Always before I film, I make sure I'm like fresh and ready to go. Come join my live stream. Okay. Question marks. Okay, we got it. Control A, control. Oh, did I mess it up? Okay, no. Sorry. Okay, so now I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page and then I'm gonna start reading. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments. Guys, I can't read them. This is what happened in the last live stream. There were so many freaking comments and I couldn't read all of them. So the main reason I'm doing this live stream is because today is my last day of being 23. And it's crazy to me because, I don't know, I feel like 23 is pretty old. And I'm kind of scared to be 24 because, I don't know, I feel like I'm very young at heart. And there's a lot of parts of me that are super immature. Like I'm always like so happy and naive. So I didn't have time to put my lipstick on. So hello, hi. Thank you. Happy early birthday. I was born at 10 p.m. in Eastern time. So in like 13 hours. Okay. You won't be able to read all of them. Hello from San Antonio. Hi. Please pray for my mom. She is in the ER with a heart attack. Everyone pray for Trail. That's so scary. I can't imagine what you're feeling. Please make a video on purgatory and on the papacy. Yes, I'm going to make a video about the papacy. I was actually talking to Trevor about this today. So many people think that papal infallibility means that everything the Pope says is perfect and he's like perfect conduct. And only in super rare situations is it like ex cathedra. So Walt Disney said it's best. You're only as old as you feel. Aw, hi from New York. I love New York. I went there for the first time recently. How tall are you, Michael? I am 5'8" or 5'9". Lizzie, you're not old. You're in your prime. I hope so. Okay. The Pope said Jesus was a sinner. No, you're wrong. Hey, Lizzie, I sent you an email a week ago. I would really love you to talk about something. Okay, I get like hundreds, thousands of emails and messages, and occasionally I'll get someone who will like rant and be like, you hate your fans, you never get back to people. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I like edit 70 hours a week, and then you expect me to read thousands of messages? Literally impossible. You're not that old. I don't know. Like, what do they have? What do you think of the MGTOW movement? The first shall be huge. Okay, yours truly, Chris. Trevor and I were stalking your YouTube channel the other day because you always comment. And so we were watching your videos and your explanation of why you don't say the first shall be last, but now you kind of have to change it so YouTube doesn't block you. So, gosh, I have my lighting. I feel like it's washing me out. When I edit my videos, I make myself look more saturated and tan. So this is my actual skin tone. Okay. What do you think about our president? I did not vote for Trump. I campaigned against Trump. I think, there's a few things about him that foreign policy-wise might be good, but I don't really like people who make people hate each other. I feel like he made America hate each other, and I think a good leader unites. Like we were talking about that at Mass today, how Jesus as a leader unites us together. Who is your patron saint? Irenaeus. Do more bipolar videos. Hi, Carly. I remember you from Twitter. Yeah, I have video scripts written for new ones, so definitely. Can you please do a video about angel and demons and heaven and hell? Thank you for birthday. That's a lot to cover. I don't really know my thoughts on demons and stuff. Happy early birthday. Trump is horrible. Yeah, he's so like unethical and he's crazy. Do you believe in purgatory? It's a Catholic dogma. Yeah, so I do. I don't really understand it that much, but Lizzie, don't leave Catholicism, please. Okay, so let's address the clickbait title. So I've been so exhausted lately because I'm planning so many speaking engagements, and I don't know, like every day is like an hour of business calls, and it's amazing. Like everything happening in my career is like amazing with getting published and doing all these speaking things and getting interviewed. It's amazing, but it's very taxing and exhausting. Like within the past 2 weeks, I've just wanted to like quit YouTube or take a break, but I can't because I love this so much. You seem happy. Yeah, I am. Oh my gosh, guys. So I woke up this morning and I was in depression. And it was the first time I've ever been happy to be in depression because the past 2 weeks I've been so extremely manic. And I cried so much this week because I just feel so crazy. And what I hate is like I'll get really angry at people or be really impulsive and cause so much damage to people, and I forget what happened and didn't even mean it, but you can't undo damage that you cause, and I hate it. Like I just remember feeling so much this week, like literally crying and like asking God to just be there. It's like I feel like I'm looking above at what I'm doing and don't want to be doing it, but I have no control. So I was glad, like this morning I just like laid in bed for 3 hours and watched YouTube. Like, I haven't even had time to eat this week. I've been working constantly. Your clickbait hurts me. Everything is clickbait. Don't stress yourself out. But it's like, I have to. Like, so much is happening. I have to upload twice a week. I have to, like, I'm going to start editing a book soon and, like, working with a publishing company. And I don't know. I've been thinking, like, how am I even going to do that with time? What meds have been working? Okay, that's what's so annoying. I'm on so many meds. I'm on Seroquel, this antipsychotic, really high dosage, and on Lamictal, like 200 milligrams mood stabilizer. So it continually makes me so angry when I'm on so much medicine and then I'm so manic. Like how the medicine doesn't work. Let's see. I was about to start praying that you wouldn't leave YouTube. What was the worst and best medication you've ever been on? I went on this antipsychotic and I couldn't breathe very well on it. I don't know which one it was called. It was like I totally forget what it's called. And then I overdosed on this other antipsychotic. I took like 4 times too much because I was manic and not paying attention, and it made me like feel paranoia and hallucinate, and it was terrifying. That might have been Seroquel that I overdosed. Yeah. I overdosed on Seroquel the first time I took it. Laying in bed for 3 hours watching YouTube is me every day. Yeah, I never have time to just like watch YouTube or like watch TV. Any tips to beat procrastination and laziness? So if you work out, it makes your brain stronger and more focused and have more ideas. So if I'm ever like don't have ideas or in slight depression, I go on a run and then it gives me so much energy. I was Catholic by birth and I never felt that I had any purpose but to control people. I think you had a really bad vision of the church and maybe not good Catholic role models, because my experience with it is about like having a really close relationship with God and with the community. Hi, Lizzie, and everyone in the live stream. Hi, Bernadette. You are really good at this, at live streams. I never do live streams. Seroquel is good. I take this for severe PTSD. Yeah, I love it. It knocks you out at night, so it helps you sleep. Because my issue is I'm hypomanic almost all the time. Like, we try to medicate away the manic, and it doesn't work. So the Seroquel will knock you out, and I'm able to sleep. Like, I don't know what I'd do without it. I would just be manic and sleep deprived constantly. Seroquel. Okay, how long are you live streaming? Probably an hour and a half. I'm not gonna go past an hour and a half because I want to sleep tonight. Can I get a shout out? Mrs. Cox. Hi. Where are you doing this stream? You're here on YouTube. What is your vocation? Doing ministry, writing, apologetics online. Have you ever done a Marian consecration? Never heard of that. Don't know what that is. Working out is tiring. It's invigorating. It literally puts drugs in your brain. Like it makes you feel so much more energetic. I think when you first work out, it's exhausting. You feel really sore. You don't have stamina. But I'm at the point where I run every single morning, work out every single day. I have for the past like 3 years. And it's the most invigorating, happiest part of my daily routine. How is your memory on Lamictal? It helps me remember better. before I went on Lamictal, I would forget every single day and have a ton of memory loss. So Lamictal like kind of pulls me back in reality and helps me to remember my life. Like people always say like, oh, the medicine leads to memory loss. Like, no, you have memory loss because of the bipolar. So pulling in reality. Love you. Hi, Andrea. Love you too. How long have you been on? Only 10 minutes. So you got here right away. But I tried to advertise on all my social media what time this was going to be, but it was still kind of last minute because I do everything last minute. Have you ever visited or seen a Coptic mass? Never. I've seen Byzantine though. I would totally love to go to Coptic. I love the Eastern churches. How do I properly tell my Christian friends and family that I'm becoming Catholic without damaging relationships? Pray, pray, pray. Pray before you do anything. God can work amazing things. But I would say write a letter. That's what I did with my parents. And then with my friends, I don't know, we just have random conversations where they'll say something about Catholicism, ask me something about it. And yeah, I mean, it can be really hard at first. Like with my parents, it was horrible, but especially when I started talking about it online. But 3 months later, from when it was horrible and when my dad didn't want to talk to me, now it's like back to normal. So if you just wait a few months, things can get back to normal. Are you Christian? Yeah, I've been Christian basically my whole life. I grew up in the church. My parents were missionaries. Have you considered becoming a member of the RCI 18? No, I know nothing. Like, I'm just learning. There's 2,000 years of theology to learn. And yeah, I feel like I barely know anything. I want to read constantly. Like, Lizzie, your top 5 saints? Like, I don't even know enough about saints to have a top 5. Okay. Does Lamictal affect your weight? Yeah, it's supposed to, but it did not affect my weight. It actually made me have less of an appetite and I lost weight on it. But I have a really high metabolism and I eat super healthy, so I feel like that's why it wasn't a problem. Oh, you want to try it for epilepsy? Yeah, it's so crazy. A lot of the bipolar mood stabilizers also work for epilepsy. So if you have bipolar and epilepsy, you should just take the one medicine. Do you remember my friend Josh? Yeah, of course. Is your family Catholic? No. So my parents are Church of Christ, so it's like a Protestant denomination, and we grew up in that. So I'm the only Catholic. Who is your favorite religious figure from the Bible? David and Paul. Whenever I read through the Psalms, I feel like David is so intense emotionally in how he prays, and I'm like that too. I'm so open and raw and intense with God. And then Paul is just so intense too. Like he'll get so angry at people, but then be so affirming, like the extremes. Can you make a video on your thoughts regarding Bishop Barron? I want to make a video with Bishop Barron. My manager is trying to figure that out. Like, we will definitely collab. I'm running social media for the Focus Conference, so I'm going to video collaborate with some of the speakers before. I know the speakers and they're not out yet. I feel so special. Thoughts on sex before marriage? I've made so many videos about this. Just search Lizzie's Answer Sex. And I have a video, 5 reasons to not have sex before marriage, 5 lies Christians believe about sex. So I told my parents I'm converting into Catholicism or Orthodoxy. Yeah, I was the same, like one of the two. You're investigating the papacy. Keep reading about the papacy. It's all about authority. My dad reacted so bad and said I'm going to hell. Yeah, what should you do? I would just pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. I think all of us do not realize how powerful prayer is. And then just be patient. It's going to take a long time. And I know so many people who have converted have given up their job, have damaged relationships. I think you have to make a lot of sacrifices for truth, and it can be really hard at first. Are you homophobic? No. I feel like in every single video I've made lately, I've gone on a rant about how we need to not be hateful towards gays and be very loving and accepting. I feel like so much of my YouTube is fighting against homophobia, transphobia. I get so many messages from people who have been suicidal who are gay. Every single person who is gay or bi or trans who messages me has been suicidal at some point. So I think we really need to change our rhetoric as Christians. What do you think about charismatic Catholics? One of my friends, my RCIA director at my parish in California, is a charismatic Catholic, and he'll like have visions and then draw things from the visions, and he like saw an angel once. So I personally do not have those gifts, but I totally believe it's real, and I feel very encouraged and excited by people who are charismatic Catholics. World Cup finals. Okay, I'm so bad at sports. I literally asked someone last week what sport the World Cup is. So I don't care at all. Are you aware of the title of this live stream? Yeah, it's clickbait. I intentionally did clickbait. I said thinking of leaving YouTube because I have been thinking that lately because I've been so exhausted, and I'm making a video like 72 things I used to hate about Catholicism. I've like started writing the script. It's gonna be hilarious because I really used to hate it. Okay, why are you quitting YouTube? I'm not quitting YouTube. I've just been so exhausted lately by every part of not YouTube, but like things besides YouTube, like booking speaking gigs, sponsorships with companies, just every day. It's been so much. You're an amazing woman. I just got clickbait. All of my videos are clickbait. You guys shouldn't be surprised. What is your opinion regarding the purpose of... Okay, I can't read. I'm heartbroken that you're quitting YouTube. I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. Should I change the title? I'm never going to quit YouTube. I promised in so many Q&As that I will do YouTube until I die. Like, I will never quit. Maybe in a few years I'll switch to uploading once a week, but I'll never completely quit. Don't overwork yourself. Yeah, she's not quitting. How old are you? So I'm 23. Tomorrow I'm turning 24. I'm so sad. I'm so old. Yes, change the clickbait. I don't think my channel would be what it is without clickbait. Church of Christ is a Pentecostal charismatic church. No. Church of Christ is part of the Stone Campbell movement. It is the opposite of charismatic. We don't really believe in the Holy Spirit. Okay. Oh my gosh, I missed so many. Are you an atheist? Have you been on this channel at all? I'm at Adoration. I hope you're online in half an hour when I'm done. Yeah, I probably will be. I actually just went to Mass, and it was so cool because my birthday is tomorrow, so it's on a Sunday. So I saw the scripture readings for July 22nd, and I was like, best birthday ever that it's on a Sunday. Also, someone emailed me that their church is doing a Mass in my name tomorrow, and I cried. You guys love me so much. I was actually thinking today at Mass when I was crying during the Eucharist how I'm so grateful to God that he made me Catholic, because I feel like in so many near possible worlds, I never would have known so many Catholics at my college and been able to convert in. And just the fact that like so many of you were praying for me for like a year and a half, 2 years to become Catholic and sending me so many resources, I just feel so loved and completely undeserving. So I cry because I'm so thankful for you guys. Happy early birthday. Thank you, Elizabeth and Jenna. Hi. Okay, what do you hate in Catholicism? What I used to hate in Catholicism before I converted in. But I don't know, I hated the Mary stuff. I thought you guys worshipped statues, just a lot of things I hated. I hated the crucifix. I thought it was too much focus on the death of Jesus and guilt, you know? I thought the priest, you had to go through the priest to get to God, all sorts of things. Do you think I'm funny, Trisha? I don't know. I'm scared to attend Mass because I don't want to do anything wrong. Do you have any tips? Oh my gosh. So before the first time I went to Mass, I was talking to one of my friends, and they were telling me that no one cares what you do on the pew unless you like strip naked or something. And that really encouraged me that most people in Mass are like focusing on the service. And I think that it's kind of in your head that people are judging you and watching you, but just sit in the back and like watch what everyone else is doing and don't do anything that you feel uncomfortable with or that you don't understand. So like I would never like genuflect before going to the pew. I didn't cross myself for a long time because I didn't understand what it meant. So don't do anything you feel uncomfortable with. Do you know Scott Hahn? I've never met Scott Hahn, but I've read two of his books. I want to meet him someday. What should I do if I can't understand the priest because of his heavy accent? Yeah, that's happened before with homilies where I haven't understood, but yeah, just pray while it's going on if you don't understand. Okay, have you ever made a pilgrimage to the Holy Land? I want to go to Israel and Rome at some point in my life for sure. Happy birthday. Thank you. I also love when my kids' birthdays are on Sundays. Oh, your son turned 11. Yeah, it's so cute. I've been having such baby fever lately because everyone on social media who I follow is pregnant. And I know I'm only 24 and like I'll have my time, but I just think being a mom sounds so fun and adorable. Okay. Could you please pray for my friend? She's pretty depressed and isn't sure what she believes now. Yeah, that's so hard. I feel like in depression, it's so easy to leave God and to just doubt his presence and his existence. What is your natural hair color? The roots are my natural hair color. This is all bleached. But it was weird because growing up, my hair was like this, like kind of a golden blonde. So then when I got to high school, it started changing to brown, and I hated it because I was always blonde my whole life. So that's when I started bleaching it. And I was just thinking probably soon I'm going to re-bleach the roots and everything because it's getting pretty long. Like, look at the back, guys. The back, the balayage, the way they did it, it's like even more like brown hair. But I really like the blonde brown contrast. Someone commented once, even her hair is bipolar. It's true. Okay. How did you begin learning about church history, and where do you think that I should begin in learning church history? I think that you should get a book about the church fathers rather than just reading straight up the church fathers, because you can read like 500, 600 page books if you just look at primary sources. But there's this website I really like called, I think it's earlychristianwritings.com. And some of the earliest documents of the church, like the Didache, letters written by bishops, are pretty short. So if you go on earlychristianwritings.com, you can read some of the primary source documents that are really short, and you could actually read through all of them. Okay. Thank you so much for all of your videos. I started watching last November and am now actively considering converting at this point due to some Protestant lies. Johnny, I'm so happy. I never ever thought that I would be able to help people become Catholic. Okay. What is your ethnic background? Okay, I'm trying to get this company to sponsor me to do a DNA test. So my manager is waiting to hear back from them, but I'm going to do a DNA test and find out because I actually do not know. You would look stunning with a platinum blonde balayage. The thing is, I don't like platinum blonde. I like a golden blonde. It's my preference. Please don't leave YouTube. I'm not leaving. I started a hashtag on Twitter, Lizzie. Oh, sorry, guys. I promise I'm not quitting. What do you think about traditionalist Catholics? I'm actually friends with a lot of Latin Catholics. I go to Latin Mass when I'm in California. Super good friends. I just think some of them online ruin it, kind of like how some vegans ruin veganism because they go around like yelling at people for murdering animals. So it's the same where online some of the traditionalist Catholics are just like really mean and like hate Vatican II, but that doesn't represent you guys at all. I guess we should fall down and worship anyone who tells us we are going to hell. After all, only God is the one who can say that. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we should be saying like who's going to hell and who's not. The Catholic Church is pretty agnostic about that, and that like we don't know, but we can pray for everyone to go to heaven. Do you know of Liberty University? Yeah, I was in Virginia recently and my relatives live by it, and it's like everyone in the area like loves Liberty. My dad recently did a DNA test, so we found out like because he was adopted, so we found out all these new family members, and one of my cousins went there for grad school. Early happy birthday. Thanks, Victor. Clickbait. Always clickbait. Lizzie, if you quit, then just let us know. I'm not quitting. Any accommodation for memory loss during college? Okay, so my advice for memory loss is it's not fully gone if you talk to people who were with you during that time or read journal entries or look at pictures. Sometimes it will come back. Like, that's what I found. If I try to, like, think upon, like, a certain month, I'll never remember. Like, Trevor and I actually have an inside joke about the month of October because I literally forgot October. But if someone specifically tells me about something in October, it'll come back. But my thing is just, Lizzie, don't go. I'm not. But my thing is if you write things down, then you can look back at it later. Do you watch college football? Like, I literally hate sports. Like, I'm sorry, guys. If you play sports as an athletic thing, I think that's cool. But I just have no desire to watch sports. I mean, I don't even watch TV, so. What do you think of Catholic Answers? I think they're really amazing, and I love how they kind of address specific topics online for everyone to access. I think that's amazing. And they've sent me some of their books. They were super nice when I came out about my conversion. I've been feeling really depressed. Yeah, I absolutely hate depression. Like I said, I had depression when I woke up this morning. Who are your favorite YouTubers? I love Nikki and Gabby. Nikki's vlog channel has been so good lately. I watch a lot of Catholic YouTubers like Emily Wilson. I love her videos so much. I like PewDiePie. I like a lot of musician YouTubers like Megan and Liz. They don't post as much anymore, but I loved them so much. Okay, I should just go on my YouTube and see who I even watch. I feel like when I think of YouTubers I watch, I can't. Let's see. Okay Baby, the vlog channel I watch. Superwoman, yeah. Lily Singh, I watch a lot of her videos. Shelby Church and her twin sister, Colleen. Colleen is pregnant. Oh my gosh, her videos are so cute. It has been really hard for me to grow in my faith because I struggle with sexual ethics regarding homosexuality. It really just feels like we are repressing them. Like I said in like all of my last videos, I directly addressed how we need to be gentle and loving and non-hateful and non-invalidating with the way we talk about that. I love I Superwoman. I know. I love Emily Wilson. You should look at her talks at Steubenville. Yeah, I'm gonna try to collab with her this year because we live pretty close to each other in Cali. One of my favorite YouTubers watches Lizzie and always talks about her in her video. Wait, who? That's so cute. Aw, that's crazy. People talk about me. Have you been to Africa? Never. Can't wait to see you in Calgary for One Rock 2.0. Yeah, I'm so excited. I've already started writing my talk, so I'm doing research for it and outlining. I'm gonna spend like so much time to make it really great. Okay. What do you feel about the Catholic Church and minorities? What do you mean by minorities? Okay? Oh my gosh, they're like going so fast. I have to like read them so fast. I used to think that the Catholic Church was a Mary cult. Yeah, I kind of did too. Will you ever come to Croatia for vacation? I would love to. It's so beautiful there. There's so many places. But guys, like if you want me to come to your country, like ask people from your church to pay for me to go there to speak. That I can visit you. Check out Thomas Merton. Oh, Kalani. Okay. Whoa. Do you like Harry Potter? Yes, I love Harry Potter. I read all of the books multiple times growing up. Book 4 and 7 are my favorite. Movie 3 is my favorite. I love Harry Potter. Are you going to grad school? Okay, everyone asks me this. Maybe in like 3 years, but I don't have time right now. You have a growing following in Fiji. Really? I would love to go to Fiji. What's your favorite Hogwarts house? I am totally a Gryffindor because I'm not scared of anything. Okay. Yeah, I just said, do you watch Father Mike Schmitz? Yeah, I love his. Oh, Bishop Barron is one of the YouTubers I love as well. Come to Madrid. I would love to. Have you seen the video called Early Church? No. Any advice for how to succeed in schoolwork despite unpredictable waves of depression? So I made a video. If you go to YouTube search and you type in Lizzie's answers, how to get out of depression. It is the first video. It's called How to Get Out of Depression When You Don't Have Medication. And basically I have advice on how to deal with depression and live through it and be productive through it. So go watch that video. I think you should go to law school. Yeah, I wanted to go to law school since I was 13. But then when I got to college, I became less interested in that and more interested in philosophy, theology. My best friend is in law school and it's just very intense. Like you cannot have a social life. You cannot do any hobbies on the side. So I would have to quit my YouTube channel and every part of my career to do that. And I just don't think I'd find it to be very fun because I have a very creative mind. And I don't know, like I love logic. Like it was a huge part of philosophy, but I don't feel like it's my passion to be a lawyer. Do you like dogs? I've only like 2 dogs in my life. I hate dogs because they don't understand consent. So like, you know how like consent with people, like you don't just like go up and like hug someone and like touch them if you don't know them. Like you feel it out and you like ask people like, can I hug you? Can I hold your, like, you know, in relationships is about consent. So dogs will just like jump up on you and start licking you and kissing you. And it makes me so uncomfortable when I don't know the dog. What's your major, Lizzie? I was a philosophy major at Pepperdine. I graduated in 2016. Your boyfriend wants to be a scholar. How do you make money doing that? Well, when you're in a PhD program, they give you a stipend since you're studying full time, and then you become a professor and you get paid to teach at undergrad or grad school. Like my dad is a professor and he's a scholar, and it's a career. Like, you make money. What about cats? I love cats. I'm such a cat person. I feel like I am a cat because I stretch all the time and I like sitting on the floor and I like laying in the sun. Look how much professors make, over 300K. I don't know what school you're looking at, but my dad, I think, makes like less than 70K. I don't know. My parents are not that open about finances, but if you're making over 100K, you're at a really good school. My mom and sister are cat people. Yeah, I am too. My cat sends his love to you, Bob. Oh, what kind of cat do you have? Have you ever prayed the Rosary? Yeah, I do it maybe once every 2 weeks. I really love praying it in groups more than anything. I am from Brazil, Chilago. My best friend Isa, one of my roommates, is from Brazil as well. She talks about it a lot, about the culture and like stories from there. Are you considering becoming a preacher? You talk about the Bible a lot. Yes. So I've begun booking a lot of speaking engagements. I've already done some where I speak in front of a church or at a youth conference. So I actually created a part of my website called lizziesanswers.com/speaking. And a lot of these are like open to the public. So I'm going to have kind of like a calendar and where I'm going to speak at. So if you want to see me live and meet me, I'll like hug you and talk to you guys. So be looking on that. I'm going to probably like in a few weeks, like really get serious about that part on my website. I have like a lot of stuff booked, like starting September. Wow. What do you hate in Catholicism? I'm gonna make a video about it. What do you think about Trump, the president? I do not like Trump. I think he made the whole country hate each other, and a true leader unites people. How do you handle the negativity? I do not get that much hate. I just don't get hate. I think that the way I phrase things in videos, like since like I started college, I've been very intentional in saying things in a polite, gentle, non-confrontational, ambiguous way. And because of that, I do not get hate. Like sometimes, but barely ever. Hey Lizzie, are you planning on attending the March for Life at DC this year? I would love to meet you in person. When is that happening? I don't know when that's happening. Have you ever thought of religious life? I'm in a relationship right now, so I haven't thought about like becoming a nun, but I would if I was single. I probably would, because I feel like my whole life I've really enjoyed being single. Like I've never been one of those people who like always needs to be in a relationship. It's really been about like finding someone like super rare who I want to be in a relationship with. So no, I haven't considered. Are you kind in person? It depends. I'm actually very blunt and confrontational in person. I can really hurt people by what I say. I'm very blunt. So I'm way nicer online. It's like, it's all a lie. It's like I'm acting. I'm not really nice. But I don't know. I can be really affirming, but I could also be very like blunt. What was the hardest Catholic doctrine to accept? Probably the sexual ethics, like not having birth control and not having gay marriage. Have you ever thought about becoming a Eucharistic minister or lector? Yeah, I really want to do both, but like my home parish is in California and I've been on East Coast, like traveling a lot this summer, so I have not done that yet. What are your thoughts on NFP? In the future, I will use NFP to space out children if I get married. Pro-life is not the only factor to weigh in with candidates. Okay, exactly. Watch my last video. Have you guys watched it? It's like 13 signs you're only pro-fetus and not pro-life. And those are my thoughts on politics. What do you think about Pope Francis? I love Pope Francis. So many of my friends have converted into Catholicism under Pope Francis, and I think that part of the reason they've like converted into the church is because of how he's so humble and compassionate in how he talks. Are you going to move back to LA? Are all of your belongings still in LA? Yeah. I still have my apartment there. Someone is subleasing my room for the summer, but yeah, like I live in California. I just travel a lot. Were you shunned by your family when you converted? Not shunned, but I mean, my dad didn't talk to me for a while, and my parents were really, really sad, and it really hurt our relationship. But now we're pretty much back to normal. So do you play Xbox? No. A lot of, like, in my apartment in California too, we use this just to get like Netflix and Hulu, not to play Xbox. Like, everyone I know who has this doesn't actually play games on it. Do you speak Spanish? Un poco. Me gusta hablar español. I took in high school. I don't know, when I'm in person, like if my like Uber driver speaks Spanish, or like when I was in Mexico for a week earlier this year, I can speak when I'm like put in the situation and have to talk. I can understand and stuff. If the Pope had a vlog channel, would you watch him? Honestly, I think it'd be really boring because the Pope probably has to do a lot of like intense meetings and like writing, you know, like I don't think he has like a fun life. It'd be like if I had a vlog channel, it'd literally be me like sitting down editing videos for 15 hours and like sauteing kale and like going on my run. I don't think it'd be fun. That's why I don't vlog. Wow. What are your thoughts on the Book of Peter? I'm going to name my son that, like 1st and 2nd Peter. I think they're really beautiful. Viva Papa Francisco. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet with your emojis. I love them. Do your live stream titles always look like this? I will always do clickbait. That's the only way to be a successful YouTuber, because YouTube, with the algorithms, they want you to not be successful. What is the best joke you ever heard recently? Probably something Trevor said. I don't know though. What do you think on how to make CCD engaging for 8th graders? Catechism something class? I don't know what that stands for. Pope Francis is a socialist and is inferior to Pope John Paul II. Oh my gosh. So, believe it or not, America is a democratic socialist country. We have socialistic aspects in our country, in that beaches are free, we have public roads, public parks, public education, Medicare, Medicaid, all of that is socialist. Every country is a mix of socialism and capitalism. So it's kind of weird to me when people hear the word socialism and like freak out, because there's lots of parts of the US that are socialist. I have watched all of your videos on connecting with God, but I just can't connect. Is there anything I can do? Like, I can't pray anymore. I think there's a lot of like memorized prayers that Christians through the years have written out. So if you say a memorized prayer, that could help. I know for me, I will like just freely speak to God, but it also helps to like read a prayer. And then all of the Psalms are prayers. So you can just read the Psalms, just read parts of the Bible, and that can help you hear from God. Lizzie, you had me scared about leaving YouTube. I'm so sorry. I feel like I've pranked you guys about leaving YouTube so much over the past 8 years. What do you think about Revelation? One of my favorite books of the Bible. When I was like 8, like my mom did a Bible study with me and my sister on Revelation, and the throne room passage in Revelation 4, I read like all the time. And it's actually really cool. So like Orthodox Divine Liturgy is supposed to be heaven on earth, and same with Mass. And because I read Revelation so much, the first time I went into an Orthodox service, I was like, this is heaven. Like, it clicked so fast. I don't understand English. I don't know what to do. I don't speak other languages fluently. How did your parents react when you told them you're going to convert? I've answered this so many times, and I've answered in videos too. I want to become Catholic. You should become Catholic. Just research and read in. Go to a Catholic church and ask about RCIA, and you don't have to commit to it. You can just go to RCIA and learn more about the church. Do you love me, Sins Hyper? I love you so much. I love you unconditionally. Here is one for you, Lizzie. What is your favorite church song? So I grew up in Church of Christ, so my favorite song is like Love One Another. Love one another, for love is of God. And then, Thomas's song? Jesus, you were all to me. Why did you die on Calvary? Those are some of my favorite Church of Christ songs. Greetings from Mexico. Turn around. What? What are you guys trying to do? Oh, do you guys want to see like my shirt or something? Yes, queen. Become a singer. Every YouTuber tries to sing, and I just do not have a good voice. Like, I'm not gonna, like, auto-tune myself. But, like, I write songs sometimes, but do you watch Blimey Cow? Yes! I watched them for, like, years. What are your thoughts on plastic surgery? I personally like my face. I'm confident with my face. I like my boobs. So I would not want to get plastic surgery. It's not like I'm like hate my nose or like are insecure about anything. But if I was insecure, I would definitely consider it. Like I don't judge anyone for getting plastic surgery. Like my hair is fake, my nails are fake, makeup makes me look fake, you know, like everything is fake. Do you plan to do YouTube and speaking for a living for the next 10 years? Um, I don't really know. Like my career, since I came out about my conversion, so many new things are happening. Like I have an agent and we're publishing my book. I have 2 memoirs written, one on bipolar, one on converting into Catholicism. So the next like year and a half, 2 years are going to be like editing, coming out with that. And then yeah, I just have all these speaking things planned. So I don't know, I hope in the next 10 years I'm married and have kids, so I'm gonna, like, continue all of this, but then I really, really wanna be a mom as well. Family is, like, everything to me. I really wanna have kids. I think like, I was reading a lot of Deuteronomy today and Exodus, and God talks so sorry, oh my gosh, I need to be modest. And God talks so intensely about how following his law is for you and your children and your grandchildren, like, we're supposed to pass on the faith to our kids. Do you smoke? No, I've never smoked, never done any drugs. I break the glass when I sing. I know, I'm good at singing, I just have a really, like, weak voice. Tie your hair in a ponytail. No, I only wear ponytails when I work out. Is it true that Pope Francis accepts gay marriage? No. The Catholic Church, will never accept gay marriage because every single sexual act in Catholicism, it has to be procreative, open to life, and unitive for the couple. So the sacrament of marriage in Catholicism, it must be a man and a woman. And it's always been like that for 2,000 years of the church. And even though I may really want to change it, you may really want to change it, no one has the authority to change it, even Pope Francis, because it's church dogma. And church dogma isn't like changing things. It's not like if you're pope, you can just change dogma. Like dogma stays the same from the first century until now. Do you drink alcohol? No, I actually never drink alcohol. I made a video about it. If you Google, like, if you YouTube search Lizzie's Answers alcohol, I talk about why I stopped drinking because I would just like do vodka shots and drink to try to like if I was on depression or to make myself less manic, and I kind of got like addicted to it. So um which Marian dogma, hi Joseph, was the hardest for you to accept? Probably the Immaculate Conception and the sinlessness of Mary and actually everything. The perpetual virginity was really hard as well. But once you research into the early church, it really makes sense. What really helped me with the Marian dogmas too is I understood that the Marian dogmas are there to guard Jesus' divinity. So it's the idea that Jesus is divine, Jesus is God. And so Mary, her body is like the Ark of the Covenant to hold God. And so when you think about it in that sense, it makes sense why Mary has to be the way she is, because it's literally God fully there. So that helps me to accept it. What are your favorite scary movies? I hate horror movies. Have you ever been to Adoration? Yeah, Trevor and I go sometimes. What are your thoughts on Scientology? I don't want to talk about it. They can ruin people's careers if you mess with them. Are you coming to World Youth Day in Panama? No, I don't think so, unless someone pays for me to travel. Favorite movie genre? I do not like movies. Being a Catholic YouTuber is so hard. I completely understand. How? Oh my gosh. Are you going to the Holy Land? Yeah, I want to go to Israel with Stephen Ray's group someday because I love Stephen Ray. What is the most interesting animal in the world? In the world. Probably some animal in the deep ocean, but I don't know. I am Mormon and now I know the Catholic Church is true. Yeah, you should become Catholic. Thoughts on mainstream Christian movies? A lot of them have really bad acting. I actually am friends with this Catholic movie producer and I acted in one of their series. So I'm gonna promote that when it comes out. And it's like super professional, good Catholic production company. I've heard a lot of people call churches that sprouted from the Stone Candle movement cults. How do you feel about that? So I looked into the definition of a cult, and a cult is when like they don't let you leave and they think you're going to hell if you leave. So I think like Church of Christ has like tiny cult elements, but it doesn't totally fit the definition of a cult. But there is an outspring of Church of Christ called the Boston Movement or International Church of Christ that literally is a cult. And that they force you to tell you like really secret information, and it's just like literally is a cult, like ICOC, the Boston Movement, but Church of Christ isn't a cult. Greetings from Manila. Hi, Jade. Manila or Manilo? I don't know. I'm so sorry. What was the pivotal moment that brought you to the church? I was reading John 6. Like I'd been reading the church fathers talking about the real presence, but then one night, like the night before Easter 2017, I just sat down and read all the communion accounts and read John 6. And I kind of saw it for the first time where Jesus is like, you must eat my flesh and drink my blood. And the Greek is like gnawing, chewing, like it's super literal. Jesus says 4 times that we must eat his flesh and drink his blood. Sorry, I'm tired. It's almost 9. If you could oh, sorry, I lost that. Have you been to a mass celebrated? How do we handle persecution? Probably if you're living in the US, you're not dealing with persecution. I actually get really annoyed when Christians in the US complain about like persecution. You know, in Egypt, Pakistan, they're getting shot at, bombed, you know, like they're literally Iraq dealing with persecution. In the US, if someone gets like offended by what you say, like just be chill, you know? Like I recommend this book called The Church History by Eusebius. When the Christians were literally getting crucified, killed in the Colosseum, they were like, thank you, God, that I get to die for you. Like they were excited to be killed. And so now we're like, oh, I'm in America, I'm getting oppressed. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you look at church history, even if people were literally getting killed, they weren't complaining about it. I guess I don't like complaining. Do you have a stable job? YouTube is my job. It's my full-time income. How do you express your feelings freely without the fear of getting judged? I guess I feel like for my whole life I've had such a close relationship with God, so close. And so I think when you feel really solidified and known by God and confident in that, you're not scared of what people think. And I think it's really healthy to know your identity in God and also in like your family and friends. So I guess maybe I had to grow really thick skin because I started my YouTube when I was 15, but I can't get hurt by anyone but like my inner circle. Have you ever wanted to kill before? No. I mean, I've had suicidal thoughts, but I've never like wanted to have had instincts to kill someone. Do you enjoy being alone, or do you have to be around people all the time? I love being alone. I'm kind of like half introvert, half extrovert, like an ambivert, but if I do hang out with people, like I love like working by myself than like working next to someone. But I'm super introverted sometimes too. People with suicide tend to want to kill too. I would disagree with that. A majority of mental illness, you want to harm yourself, but you're not going to harm other people. like with different shootings, like the movie theater shooting where the person had untreated schizophrenia, it's really rare for people with schizophrenia to kill other people or to have impulses to kill other people. It's really rare. A majority of the times, people with mental illness just will hurt themselves. Girl altar servers. I love girl altar servers. We were just at mass and there was one of the altar servers was a girl. I love how the church is so inclusive and feminist. Like women can do everything, like lead worship, be Eucharistic ministers. I love it. Have you struggled with anxiety? Occasionally, but yeah, I don't really know how to deal with it because sometimes if I'm like really manic or in depression, I'll suddenly feel like my heart beating so fast and like really stressed and like so, yeah, like anxiety. But I tend to just like go be by myself and just try to breathe and like watch YouTube or something, like distract myself because I can't like do anything else. So I just try to distract myself. Are you a feminist? There's so many different definitions of what a feminist is, so I can't answer that. Are you close to your neighbors? No, in Cali, so I live in an apartment and I don't know any of my neighbors. So we never talk to them. What do you recommend for someone who wants to start a YouTube like yours? So I have a video on my YouTube channel. If you YouTube search Lizzie's Answers, how to start a YouTube channel. It's the first video. It's called How to Start a YouTube Channel. It has like so much advice in it. What's your advice to people who can't stand school but want to get through it so bad? I made a whole video. If you Google like Lizzie's Answers, how to pull an all-nighter, in that video I explained how to get excited about studying, so it may really help you. How can I go vegan or vegetarian? Just YouTube search Lizzie's Answers vegan. I've made like 3 or 4 videos about how to transition, but the one where I'm wearing a red dress that's longer, I give like actual advice on how to gradually change your diet. Please don't quit YouTube. I'm never gonna. You've helped me with so many boy problems. I know. I started off with so much relationship advice. What is your favorite food and drink? I love water. I drink water all the time. My favorite food is probably like kale, cucumber, tomatoes, bananas, oranges. Have you read Lumen Gentium? No, I haven't. Can you do a shout out for Yolanda Salvadier? Hi! Advice for high school. I have a whole series called Starting High School that I made when I was in high school. So YouTube search Lizzie's Answers High School. Will you please answer my question? Please don't leave the Awesome Lucy Show. I'm not leaving YouTube. I was just doing clickbait. How is your bipolar? It's been so bad lately. I've been so manic the past week and a half. Like I've cried like almost every day because I feel crazy. And it's like terrifying, like not wanting to do something, but then it's like you look at yourself like overhead, almost like seeing yourself doing things, and you just can't stop. I hate it. I literally hate it. Hello, nice to see you again. Hi, Luke. Quick, Lizzie, name a song. I am drawing and I need a new song to listen to. Sit Next to Me by Foster the People. Have you ever read the Book of Enoch? Any thoughts on the book? It was read by early church father. I don't know if I have or not. Please answer. Okay, who is your favorite Catholic YouTuber? Emily Wilson. How tall are you? 5'8". Foster the People? Yeah, it's a really good group. Fave book in the Bible? Ecclesiastes. Actually, so tomorrow's my birthday. And Trevor was like, ask me what I want to do for my birthday. And I was like, I want to read through all of Psalm 119 and all of Ecclesiastes out loud. And he's like, Psalm 119 is like so long. It's like 500 verses or something, but it's my favorite. Go to Lourdes. Maybe Our Lady will help you with your bipolar issues. So I actually really hate it when people tell me to like pray away my bipolar because it's in my DNA, it's in my genetics. I am bipolar. There's nothing that anyone can do to take it away, and it would be erasing my identity to get rid of it. Like, I think in heaven, there's going to be some part of me that is like bipolar in a sense. So never tell someone to like pray it away for a mental illness because people like you can kill yourself and die from bipolar or depression. Like you need medication and you need a professional, a psychiatrist and a therapist. What is your advice to scrupulous people? It means every little thing you do. I think it is a mortal sin. Talk to a priest because I remember my first confession, I was confessing things and my priest like one-on-one, so maybe schedule a one-on-one session with your priest and like tell him how you feel because my priest was just like that's not a sin, that's not a sin, that's not a sin because a lot of times like you'll feel guilty for like being tempted to do something, you know what I mean? But also just go to confession. Like I've had a lot of people, like one girl was messaging me and she was saying like I was sexually assaulted and I feel so guilty about it that I don't want to take the Eucharist. And so obviously if you're sexually assaulted, you're the victim, you didn't do anything wrong. But she felt like that. So my advice in those situations is to go to confession anyways. It's like Christ is the great physician, God's wanting to heal us and he can heal us through confession. And so I think just go to confession every week if you need to do that, if you feel guilty. Like I've confessed things in confession that I've done only because I was manic. So obviously it's not a mortal sin because I wasn't in control, but it's like I still feel horrible. I still cause damage. So just go to confession. Have you ever tried Jesus Christ? What does that even mean? I've known Jesus my entire life since I was able to think. What is your review on street preachers? Generally, I hate stuff like that. I hate when people are like going up to. Okay, have you ever been to Santa Monica in California? There's people who literally have like those giant things and they're like, you're going to hell, God hates you. And like that needs to stop. Like that's not attractive. It's not helping anyone become Christian. Have you confessed to a crime before? I don't think I've trespassed before, but I think that's the only thing I've done that is illegal. Any advice for couples that haven't been abstinent? My girlfriend and I aren't, but I'm wanting to become Catholic. So I think that you should just pray about that and you should just decide to stop having sex. I was actually talking to one of my friends who was having sex with her boyfriend and then was convicted about it and they stopped. And she said that she feels like God has blessed their relationship since then. Like they've both been so much more affirming to each other. But I was actually telling my friend, like, what you're doing is so much harder than what I'm doing in never having sex with my boyfriend because you have to go back from that. But I mean, I've known a lot of people who were having sex and then stopped. Like, it's totally possible. And I think, you don't need to feel guilty about it. You just need to change. That's all that God demands of us. And God is like incredibly forgiving and merciful. And I think it's amazing if you're considering stopping that because I think it's really hard to go from that like depth of intimacy physically and then stop. I mean, I don't even know how hard it would be, but what are your thoughts on Joel Osteen? I hate prosperity doctrine stuff. I just think it's super like American imperialism. Mormons are mobile street preachers. Honestly, like Mormons bother me less than the person with the megaphone yelling that God hates people. There's levels to it. How do you start talking about theology without seminary? Do you bring God into natural conversation? Yeah. I've actually got a lot of questions about this, like doing like interviews with Catholic press stuff, like how do you talk about God on your YouTube channel? Like how do you evangelize? And even on YouTube, I never intentionally was like, I want to convert people into Christianity. Like, never. That's never been a thought when I've been making videos. I've just been being myself and answering questions. And same with all my friends. Like, some of my best friends, like, were agnostic and now are Christian. Like, best friends. And I was just, like, friends with them. And, like, you organically will talk about God. I'll be like, oh, I was going to this church event. Like, oh, I was praying about that. Oh, this Bible verse. Like, I think it's super organic. Just, like, be yourself. What should I do if my best friend puts my faith in danger. I don't know what that means, but if you feel like someone is leading you away from God, maybe you shouldn't be as close to them. I think cutting off friends is necessary sometimes if people are being toxic. What would you do if a boy tries to kiss you? Oh my gosh, this has happened to me so many times in my life where I'll be like talking to a guy and he'll just like try to kiss me. Like, and it makes me so angry because like, I don't know, I'm like very selective with like physical touch. And so I don't just like kissing random people, but like what I've done is like pushed them away and said no and been like really mad about it. Cause I think that's like not understanding consent at all. Okay. I like Catholics because they don't proselytize. Yeah. Um, does Christ love European people? Did Christ say European people must give up their nations to brown people? I mean, Jesus was Middle Eastern, but the church has always been universal, so in every culture. Do you have a favorite type of church artwork? I love everything having to do with the Orthodox Church. I love like the icons so much. Have you read the Baltimore Catechism? Parts of it, but I haven't read it all the way through, obviously. What if none of your family is Christian or religious? A lot of people in my life are the only Christian in their life, and I think that in Christianity, like, we're all family together, and so just be really close to people at your church and your friends who are also believers, and pray for your family as much as possible. Like, I think God works so strongly through prayers, but yeah, that can be so hard. Like, people I know who deal with that, like, I don't even know what that would be like, because my whole family has always been Christian. I have commented the first shall be last on over 100 blacking out videos. That's so funny. What is your favorite newspaper? I read the New York Times and the Atlantic, and I listen to NPR. Thank you for the music request. What are your thoughts on secular music? I made a whole video about it, so look up Lizzie's Answers Secular Music. How do you handle dryness in your prayer life? I think if I just start going to mass more and reading my Bible more, it makes me pray more. Oh, but one thing, you dislike the New York Times. Yeah, totally understandable. Everyone has different political stances. So this priest, like the last time I went to confession, told me that I need to just like stay closer to God and to pray that I will have more desire to be close to God and to pray. So just pray that you will want to pray, if that makes sense. How do you find time to pray? Okay, so sometimes I'll go through periods in my life where like every day I'll like set aside like 10 minutes to pray, 30 minutes to pray. But usually I will just pray like in the middle of the day when I wake up. Just like throughout the day, I'll pray to God. Even like in conversations when I'm around other people, I'll be praying. So just like anytime you have a thought or an emotion, like thank God for different things. If you're scared or you feel overwhelmed, pray. Favorite Christian songs? I really like Reckless Love. And I know some people hate Reckless Love, but I really like the Cimarelli cover. We are called to pray without ceasing. Yeah, exactly. So I think a lot of people with like reading the Bible or prayer make it this big thing. Like you have to set aside an hour every morning for God time. And like that's really been really helpful in my life. But I think that just like open your phone on the Laudate app and read the Bible verse. Just say like an Our Father prayer. You know, like do like little things throughout the day. I think the important thing is to just not do nothing. Don't make it like this huge ordeal, like you have to like set aside time. Like that's great if you can set aside time, but if you want to get to that point, just like read a Bible verse in the morning, like read one chapter of a gospel, you know? You're amazing and have helped me so much. Hi, Brittany. I hope we can meet someday and I could get to know you. Have you ever, okay, the Crusades were justified, so were the Inquisitions. Yeah, in my Protestant religion department, one of my professors kind of like explained the Crusades, and it really changed my perspective on it. If you hate the New York Times, it means you are enclosed in a bubble. This is Free People is saying this. I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, I think everything is biased, though. How can I get my 13-year-old sibling to care about church? So I think a lot of times with evangelism, we see it as like, oh, I should just invite my friend to church. oh, I should bring them to church. But I think evangelism should not take place at Mass or in church, but in conversations or in like smaller Bible study groups. Thoughts on cohabitation, but wanting to get confirmed? What should I do if you can't change that? I don't really know all the Catholic doctrines on that. Like, this couple at my parish live together but are not married, and it's like chill, like the priest is fine with it. So I don't think that's dogma, but I don't know. I've known other situations where like churches will not marry you if you're cohabitating. So I don't know. I would try to like move in with a roommate, pray about that. Like there's got to be like another way. Modesty question mark. I personally believe I dress modestly. Like, look, I'm not showing my boobs. That's like my main concern with modesty. Get married or do not live together. That's it. I don't know though. Like there's a okay. Hey Lizzie, have you ever heard of Chris Tomlin? And would you go to Creation Fest? I haven't heard of that, but I've listened to lots of Chris Tomlin. I think you can live as brother and sister until you get married. Interesting. Have you ever seen Father Mike Schmitz? Yes. I watched those videos before I became Catholic. They were super helpful. Are you a creationist? No, I believe in evolution. Okay, we're at 1 hour and 5 minutes, so I think I'm gonna go in like 10, 15 minutes. Ever cringe watching your younger self on YouTube? Oh my gosh, yes. Because I was so young and like awkward, and like I also went through puberty really late because I would like do cross country, track, ballet. So it's kind of like how gymnasts will not go through puberty right away. So I was going through puberty like in college. So most of my YouTube, I look so young and awkward. What do you think has been the hardest century for the Catholic Church? Probably when the Reformation happened. I mean, the church leadership was horrible. That's why they split. You should make a video on the Psalms. Maybe I will. Clothing for Mass. It really depends regionally. Like in California, people are a lot more like in modest, but then like in the South, it's more modest. Latin Mass churches tend to be more modest. So are most Catholics evolutionists? In the US, it might be half-half, but for the whole world, I'm pretty sure, because like the papacy like promotes science and encourages people to believe in evolution. It's been so long since I watched your videos. How are you? I'm really good. I don't know how long it's been, but I graduated Pepperdine in 2016. I've been doing YouTube since then. And I was diagnosed with bipolar in 2016. If you're like really been away for a while, then thoughts on goats? I don't know that much about goats. Do you still play guitar? Yeah, not all the time, but if I want to like play a worship song or I just like am stressed and need to chill, then I can play guitar. Do you wish you weren't bipolar? No. I mean, there's some days where I like hate it, but I wouldn't give it away. It's part of me. Why do people never give the church credit for advances in research and science? I'm kind of convinced that our public education system is biased against Catholicism, biased against Christianity. So, like, obviously, Christianity created modern science, created hospitals, created universities, but the way it's taught in school is very biased. Even the term, like, the Dark Ages, the fact that we don't think the medieval ages had any intellectualism, it's a lot of bias with the way the history is taught. If you had one wish, what would it be? I don't know. I feel very content about how my life is. Oh my gosh, so many. Protestants always lie? No, I don't think Protestants always lie. I think that it's just really complicated. Like a lot of things about history or a lot of things about Catholic theology. It's people like simplify complicated things, and that's why there's a lot of stigma. And honestly, I think the reason a lot of Protestants believe lies about Catholicism is because a lot of Catholics are not well catechized, and so they'll say things about the church that are not true. You are a gift to the church. I have panic disorder, so I share. Thank you for saying that. Do you wish you were younger or older? I do not want to turn 24. I wish I could just stay 23 or go back to 21 or 22. Have you ever read 1984? I have to work for my AP English. Oh my gosh, 1984 is so good but the end is like horror movie status. I hated the end. How often do you read? I try to read every day, but sometimes if I'm working constantly, it's not every day. But I always like have a book I'm reading. It's always been like that my whole life. When I was younger, I would read a lot of fiction. Like I would read like 2-3 hours a day, like fun reading. But then it's like when you get older, you don't have time as much. I'm older, 38. What is it like being 38? I don't want to be 38. Have you ever visited Mexico? Yeah, I went to Cabo this year. I absolutely love Mexico. I definitely will go back. Um, what do you read? Mostly like philosophy, theology stuff, sometimes fiction. My sister gives me really good fiction book ideas to read. Would you ever try going vegan? I am vegan. I made so many videos about it lately. Like so many of my recent videos have been about being vegan. What is your favorite book and why? My favorite book is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. It's a fiction book and the characters are in Afghanistan, and I don't know, it's just a really, really beautiful book about love and sacrifice and family. Any advice for those who want to run a 5K but don't have that much endurance? You just have to start small and keep running. And I think with running, don't be afraid to like walk for a bit. So if you're like jogging and exhausted, then like walk for 30 seconds, then like start running again. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like immediately run fast. And what really helped me growing up, I was in cross country and track. So running with other people is super motivating. And there's a lot of like running apps as well. I ever considered a Catholic mission? So I'm gonna make a whole video about this, about why I do not like mission trips. So a lot of people do short-term mission trips, and it's kind of like a service trip, like build a house. And I think that successful missions work, you need to be there for a long time to build relationships and to do evangelism. So I, like when I was in college, I would spend every summer in Thailand. So I actually did a lot of evangelism with reading the Bible one-on-one with people, teaching English. But my primary purpose there was to connect the college students I was reading the Bible with to the Christians there. And so if you're just going for a week, I think you're not going to be able to form relationships and actually do evangelism. Do you use Netflix or Amazon or both? Netflix and Hulu as well. My roommates and I were watching Famous in Love. I'm so upset it was canceled. Any advice for anyone studying for the GRE? Trevor's doing that right now and he has to do math every day, and like I hate math, he hates math. But I guess just like work on it a little bit every day. I just logged on. Hi. You can watch it on my YouTube from the beginning. I'm probably gonna leave in like 5 minutes. Sorry, there's like so many. Do you have to make a confession appointment to go to confession? No, they have confession every single week, and you can like Google the name of the church and they'll have the confession times. Trump 2020. Honestly, I think Trump's gonna get reelected, and I'm not happy about that, but I just think he's gonna get reelected. Because my experience with presidents is if they're doing some really intense military thing before the next election, people are like, yes, strong and military, you're protecting the country, and will typically vote for them. Like when Obama was reelected, he had just, was it the Osama bin Laden he had just captured before he got elected, correct? And then with Bush, we had started the war. So I just feel like politically, people. What's a good way to evangelize a Protestant person? So I think the best way to do evangelism is with relationships. So honestly, if you try to talk to a Protestant like, you're wrong, this is why Catholicism is true, not going to be effective. But if you're just an excellent, amazing, loyal person, if you're just like yourself and like fully alive, then they're going to be like, wow, this Catholic has a really close relationship with God and is an amazing person. And it will make Catholicism look attractive, and maybe they'll ask you questions or start researching in. But I think with converting into Christianity or becoming like more Christian by being Catholic, it just takes like a lot of relationships and a lot of time. I wish he would never tweet. I know. I wish that Trump would just let his like social media people like do his social media. Obama destroyed Libya. Yeah, I think Obama was way too conservative in, like, every single way, and I disagreed with so much of his foreign policy. What's your opinion on the military? I think that we should lower our military budget and put it into education and healthcare. And my thing is, like, it's great that we're trying to, like, save the world, but we have so many problems in the US. We have such extreme poverty. We have people taking out, like, 30K in student loans to attend college. And so I think we should start subsidizing college, put more money into public education, more money into healthcare, rather than spending billions of dollars trying to help other countries. Like, you have to love yourself before you can love other people, right? I mean, why don't we apply that to oh my gosh, I'm so tired, to foreign policy. I'm gonna leave in by 1:20, so in 6 minutes. Lizzie, do you want a pet? Yes, I want a cat. And one of my roommates also wants a cat, but the other 3 don't. So Lizzie needs to become libertarian. I don't think that will ever happen. Is there any possibility of you and your parents doing a video together? Yeah, there's, like, a mom tag that was going around. So my mom would probably be in a video, but my dad probably wouldn't. I went to community college because it costs less. Yeah, absolutely. So many people I knew from college went to 2 years of community college, then went into a 4-year school. We need tuition caps. Okay, guys, craziest thing. So I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he grew up in the foster care system and was then adopted by this couple who they were just, like, not good parents. And so they would not help him financially with college at all. So my dad went into the military and then right after went to college. So I was like, how did you pay for college? And he said with the money he saved up from the military. And it was crazy. He said that when he went to college, it was like 1,600 for a year. And so now it's like 50K for a year or like 20K for a year. So it used to be like so cheap, like 5,000, 6,000 total for 4 years for a degree because the government was subsidizing it. And so they're not subsidizing it as much anymore. They're not keeping up with inflation. So yeah, I mean, it's insane that everyone's in such extreme debt. And I hate it. Like, I hate it so much. Lizzie, did you go on a full ride scholarship? Yeah. My parents helped me pay for, like, room for, like, my dorms and food, but yeah, it was full ride. We could not afford to send me to a private school, absolutely not. Um sorry, I was reading. Someone's like, Lizzie kisses her boyfriend, so she thinks it is okay. Yeah, I mean, I really like when couples are really serious about physical boundaries. So for some people, that means never kissing. And I absolutely think if you're more conservative, that's probably better. But I also think we shouldn't be fundamentalist and be like, if you kiss, that will lead to sex. Like, 26,000 in Texas public colleges for a total or for 1 year? Come to Jersey. I don't think I've ever been. Okay, that's good you had a full scholarship. Yeah. I mean, I worked so hard in high school to get scholarships. Oh my gosh. Yes, I have strong boundaries. My ex would cuddle me way too much. Yeah, I guess cuddling could be sexual. It's interesting. I think you should always have really serious conversations about physical boundaries before getting into a relationship. Like, some of my friends have been like, "Oh, I think we went too far. I never thought about physical boundaries before the relationship." So I think you should think about it before you get in a relationship. Can you do a video on pro-life? Yeah, my last video was on pro-life. Ever been inserted in a Focus conference? Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Focus conference in 2019. I'm in charge of, like, social media or something. I don't know. Like, they've called me about it, contacted me about it. I'm not, like, a speaker, but I'm, like, part of it. So I guess we're gonna learn more. I don't like we haven't gone in depth about what we're doing. Um, my fundamentalist dad said holding hands will lead to sex. Yeah. I don't think so. That clickbait though. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave in like 2 minutes. Okay, any like really important last thoughts? Who's your favorite celebrity? Ariana Grande? probably, or Bella Thorne. Bye. Bye. I'm leaving soon. How do we know that the 12 apostles were the first priest and bishop? Because Jesus didn't explicitly say that. So how do we know it's true? So the Catholic Church defines priest or bishop based upon apostolic succession, and the most important thing is that they can consecrate the Eucharist to become the Eucharist. So the 12 apostles were the only people at the Last Supper. And then they breathed and passed on that ability to consecrate the Eucharist to the next people. And like, if you read, like, okay, Eusebius Church History, so much of that book is just doing lineages, like saying, like, this person was the bishop of this, like, going all the way back. So I hope that answered your question. Bye. Bye, Kelsey. As well. It's buffering here. Oh my gosh. It seems like... Okay, everyone's saying that they cannot see it. She quit YouTube. I'm not quitting YouTube. Okay, everything is offline, but I think this part will still be on. Oh my gosh, you guys can still see me? Hi, LOL. Hi. Anyways, I'm gonna leave soon. Thank you for saying happy birthday. So I'm so excited to be 24 tomorrow and go to mass and read my Bible a lot. And I love you guys so much. I will come out with a new video on Monday. I love you guys. Bye.